Good afternoon, Facebook viewers. My name is Tom Loewy. I'm a reporter and columnist from the Galesburg Register-Mail. Hopefully, you just finished watching Brittany Grimes. Our Happening Now video from Monday was with Brittany Grimes. She's the new president over at the NAACP Galesburg. And she's also the director of marketing and public relations at Galesburg College. And I want to tell you, a more interesting person you will not meet. Honestly, just really interesting, very active in the Galesburg community. Moved back in 2016 after leaving in 2004. She graduated from Galesburg High School 2004, came back 12 years later. She's back in the community and she's active and just a really smart, engaging person, and just a great conversation. I was really happy to finally meet her and to meet her formally. I think we've met before, kind of deal, but let me see here. I'm having a little camera problems right off the bat. So snow and wind and cold and just the buffet of the horrors that we've been having now for it seems like the entire month of January, right? So you're looking at North Henderson Street, and I'm gonna get on 34 for a little bit. I'm not real crazy about going on the highways, but I'm gonna get on 34. Maybe I'll get on 74 also, because basically I can drive back to Galesburg. I can end up on the east side. So I'm North Henderson Street, and I'm on the exit heading to 34, and I want to tell you, the driving conditions, look, it's not like impossible to drive, and it's not, I don't think, really unsafe to drive. I think people have to extend some courtesy to other people and some safety for themselves, and slow down a little bit and not be in a hurry. As you can see, the wind is the main issue here, and so two things are going to happen. It's going to affect your visibility, and it's going to affect your tread. What is wet will freeze, and ice will cause you to slip. I mean, this is like basic stuff, right? Like, you don't need me to tell you this. So we're on 34. We're headed east, technically towards Kewanee. So this is what 34 looks like, and let me tell you, man, 34 is taking a beating this winter. I mean, it is turned into pothole central in this Galesburg corridor here. They're going to be looking to repave this. Now, I would basically call it, I see one car off, I would call it right now one lane. So what you want to be really careful doing is when you're merging, people may not be able to get over for you. They may not feel confident in getting over for you. So I am slipping a little bit. I'm on 34 East. I'm going to show you 74 East next, and then I'm going to get off at the East Galesburg exit, and I'll show you a little bit of the Galesburg roads. But doing a little bit of looking at the highways. And another thing to be conscious of is that these roads are taking a beating now, and you're going to encounter some potholes that you're not familiar with. I drive this portion of 34 quite a bit, and I can tell you right now that there are some new, wider and deeper potholes on this road. Our roads are just taking a beating in this cold. When you get freezing, and then water gets in, moisture gets in, and more freezing, you get cracking, and then the road splinters, the cement splinters under the weight of things like trucks. So as you can see, we're on 34 East, and as you can see, visibility is not good in places. The wind is coming heavy. I'm gonna get on 74. I don't like traveling 74 because of the heavy truck traffic. I don't like it during the week, during the day, but for viewers, I'll get on. I'm getting a lot of questions now. We are getting snow and we're getting a lot of heavy winds. So, and the exit and entrance ramps are not doing really well here. We've got a lot of areas covered or partially covered, you know, and it's mostly windblown snow. But again, there was some moisture, there was some like rain snow that fell, and there is some ice on the roadways. It's that wind. It not only brings drifts, but it brings temperature, you know, drops. And so like when you come up on a bridge like this, be aware that you're going to encounter ice because it's suspended in the air. It's not warmed by the ground. Like there, I just slid. I am sliding and moving in the wind. I'm doing about 50 miles an hour because I don't feel real confident. And you don't obviously want to go too slow. You don't want to cause a wreck, but we are moving into heavy whiteout areas here. Wow. So, you know, I don't know, maybe I'm not tough, right? But I would not recommend driving in this. There's some heavy winds. Just to let you know, like I'm getting the hell off this road at that exit. Whoa, all right. But this is what 74 East looks like. So I'm coming up on East Galesburg and I'm gonna exit, but that gives you a little bit of a look, a little bit of a preview of what those winds look like. And I can tell you this, that there's some, it's slick. There's just no other way around it. And then you get buffeted by that wind a little bit. It's, you definitely want to slow down. I'm a little bit uncomfortable going 49 miles an hour. The winds are heavy and really buffeting my car. And it really makes me nervous not to be able to see. I feel like if I can't see ahead of me, maybe people aren't going to see me, you know? And so I get a little bit nervous about that, to be honest with you. I'm not real comfortable driving in this. So there's heavy wind-blown snow, okay? And it's really affecting my visibility, and it's affecting the slickness. Now we got a half mile more of this garbage. So I'm doing 45. Normally it's 70 out here, and I can't wait to get off this road. I do not envy people. Look, if you don't have to be on 74, don't be on 74. Really, seriously. There are areas where this snow is blowing really bad. So just stay off. I don't know how I'm going to get on this exit. There we go. Wow, that was not fun. Okay, so you've been on 74 East, and as you can see, there's heavy blowing snow. I was doing my top speed. I didn't even hit 50. It was 49 miles an hour. So we've done 34 East and we've done 74 East, and just in that less than 10-minute trip, I got nervous. Very, very nervous. So what do the city streets look like? A lot of slush, a lot of slick. Slow down, give yourself time to brake, and you know, coming out of the lights, you know, you're going to spin a little bit maybe. So just be ready for that. But if you're just joining us, we took a harrowing wind drifted ride on 34 East and 74 East. And if you don't have to be on the roads, you know, I mean, I think driving in Galesburg, that's fine. But I would worry a little bit about 41. I would definitely worry about 34. There's a lot of drifting going on there. And I would worry about 74. And of course, a lot of people drive that. You know, a lot of people live either directly outside Galesburg, or they have to drive to Peoria for work, or Moline in the Quad Cities. you know, just be really careful. It is rough out on those highways. That was not a pleasant trip. So I'm going to drive down to Casey's and kind of show you. We're on Main Street right now, and this kind of shows you how things are going. On Henderson Street, there's, you know, the snow is down, and it's not a lot. It's just covering, you know, it's a light covering, but it is slick, and it's slick and slushy. So people beware. But to repeat for viewers once again, we were on 34 East. We were on 74 East, heading, you know, east, obviously. And it was slick, and visibility was severely compromised at times by the wind. And so there's heavy wind out there blowing, folks. And that means blowing snow for visibility. That means snow drifts. And that means icing on overpasses and exit and entrance ramps. So I went over one overpass, and it was, I could feel, you know, my car was kind of gliding. There's ice out there. Be careful. Don't drive the highways if you don't have to. I mean, the problem is that a lot of people have to. And so, and the other problem is that we're coming out of a last week where there were a lot of cancellations, there were a lot of postponements, there were a lot of days missed, and so now people are trying to jam that back in and get things going again. I mean, you know, how many days off can you have? Well, I don't know, but those highways are not fit to travel right now. And I know, I imagine during the evening that wind will kind of subside a little bit, but right now it's blowing, and it's blowing heavily, and it is creating problems with visibility, and it's creating problems with traction, you know, with drifts, and it's creating problems with icing on, especially overpasses and on exit and entrance ramps. So hopefully you were able to see it. I'm gonna end this video fairly soon so it can be archived and people can take a look at, we drive on 34 East, 74 East, and then we're back here on Main Street. And as you can see, I mean, they're doing the best they can to keep up with this stuff, but you know, there's a lot of there are a number of elements on the road. You know, there's a little bit of ice, there's some slush, there's a fine coating of snow, you know, that's just fallen in the last couple hours, and so we're looking at some bad travel conditions. But what I'm telling people is that I will not go on 34 today. I will not go on 74 today. I will not go on 41 today. Those are areas that are exposed, large open areas exposed to a lot of wind, and there's a lot going on. There's drifting, and there's icing, and there's visibility issues. There are a couple times there, when you watch the video, you're going to see, you can't really see. There could have been somebody, you know, up ahead of me, and I wouldn't have seen them till the last minute. And as a result, I was going about 49 miles an hour at top. I lowered down to about 45, and the guy behind me was not catching up. I don't want to say he's a guy. The person behind me in the SUV was also going slow. I mean, so listen, just slow down. Travel is very challenging today, and this is winter, right? Like, this is what happens. We should all understand this. We've had it easy maybe last couple of years, but I don't even know that's true. We had some pretty big challenges last year, some pretty heavy snowfalls, but people just need to slow down. And that's what I would caution you to do, is really just take your time getting places. Don't be in a hurry, and don't follow too closely. All right, I'm going to finish things up here at Casey's, but I really appreciate you joining me. I hope you saw the Happening Now video with Brittany Grimes. She's truly one of the interesting, motivational people in this town. Her interview was earlier today. It's called Happening Now. It was a live video. And then to let you know, I've driven 34 East, 74 East, and I've driven up and down, East Main Street to West Main Street. And so we are going to stop here at Casey's. I'm going to get some coffee. I hope you have a great day. I hope you don't get out on the roads if you don't have to. My name is Tom Loewy. You've been driving with Loewy. I appreciate your time. And be safe out there. Even if you got to go down to the corner, just be safe. Thanks for joining me, folks.